So if you haven't been in my classes before, I'll just have a little video for you to watch, give you an idea how I am creating the art and maybe what I'm expecting from you. The um, assignment itself does not necessarily need to end up looking like mine. And we'll talk about more of that as we go through this. Right now I'm just showing you the different things that I could be using. I actually end up using most of it, but here's the picture that I used for myself. I just took a bunch on the iPad and picked one I thought was going to work, and you'll see how I'm going to make use of it. So I just start out by drawing that picture. Right up at the top, you can see my iPad is there, so I'm looking at the picture of myself. I'm not so worried about getting this to be perfect because we're actually going to copy it and copy it and copy it. It's going to become a little bit more abstract. Really, getting used to drawing yourself is something that's important for all types of art. It is the self-portrait is used by everybody always. It's like practicing your scales when it comes to playing the piano. It's just something that you always have for you to do. So that should be your like number one thing you're always making as a basis for art that you're creating. Obviously, this is all done in high speed, but you can always go back and slow it down. If you are watching me do something, you're not sure how I made that happen, you can stop the video or you can rewind it and go back over it again to get an idea. This is a basic sketch. As you see here, I'm going to end up copying it a number of times when I go to the next step here. If this is one of the first times you've been doing a self-portrait anytime recently, I don't want you to focus so much on making it absolutely look perfect. It does not even need to look like you. In fact, you'll see by the time I'm done with this, I don't think it ends up looking like me all that much, and that's okay. If you're concerned about realism, though, look at the stuff that's important. The eyes, the nose, the mouth, and their relationship to each other. Your ear, if you're looking at the side of your face, you can see that's like right in the middle of my head. As I get to this part now, what I did is took another piece of paper, I'm laying on top, and I'm just copying exactly what I did. Of course, a little bit of my realism is going to get lost because it's a copy and I'm not doing things quite as exact. But really, I'm looking through the paper and I'm seeing there. If this is difficult for you, you could put it on a window, tape it to a window, and make the copy. What I'm going to do is end up taking this one, flipping it over so that I have the same image going both ways. You might be able to kind of get this. You could hand draw it if you took the artwork and flipped it inside your iPad and hand draw all of it. But I think this might be easier for you to make it look exactly like the thing that you just did. So now you can see I've copied it again. I'm laying it underneath the other one. Again, might work better on a window. And I'm starting to copy it over. This time, again, I'm doing it with pencil because I want it to be a little bit more realistic. I did it with a marker before, so it was easier to see through the piece of paper. Now, in the end, ended up making my face kind of like yelling at itself twice. You don't have to do it like I did. You could have it face each other. You could layer up on top of each other so that like there's three of them looking all in one direction. How you make use of that is going to be up to you. I think honestly, after I finished it and only had done two, I kind of thought if I had done more, it would have worked out better. Here I'm using oil pastels to color it in. That's what I had laying around. This is how you finish this out is really like what tools do you have at home, make use of whatever you have. But I think adding color to it is going to make color it become its always is important. For me, I love having tons of color in everything I do. So really bright colors for everything. If you want it to be more drab or depending on the emotion that you're trying to capture. Here, I was just experimenting with just what would happen with the oil pastels and the watercolor. And then as I was working, I decided I thought just two solidly colored things looking at each other would work out a little bit better. And then my background is purple, and I always think that looks great with almost everything. So you'll see I finish it up with that. So as you can see, I'm just finishing it up with the color here. How you go about finishing those things, I want to see individual stuff. I don't really want it to look exactly like mine. This is a starting point. How you finish it is up to you. But if you're struggling to come up with an idea, it's okay to make one that looks similar to mine. All the best artists copy other artists.